Hey folks, it's Eric from Support Adventure coming to you from Thailand, and I would like to make this video about how you can know what your staff are doing when they're working remotely in your MSP. So essentially, in the post-corona world, lots of MSPs are remote only now, and basically they have staff working from outside, working from home, not in the office anymore. And while you as a manager or owner or supervisor of an MSP, you need to know what the staff are doing at all times. And if you had the traditional idea of having them in the office and sort of they show up, you assume they're doing work, and then you go remote, you might be a little bit nervous about what they're doing with their time. And the reason is, well, because you haven't put in the proper systems of accountability in your MSP. So how do you know what your staff are doing? Well, I'm assuming if you have an MSP, you have a ticketing system. But a lot of MSPs, what they don't have is a guide on how notes should be written in that ticketing system. So you need a checklist of what people are supposed to have on those ticket notes. You know, how they're supposed to write technical information, how they're supposed to write replies to the clients, how they're supposed to end their notes, how they're supposed to categorize them on the ticketing system, how they're supposed to document what the next steps are, what the resolution of the issue was, how an escalation is done, what they're waiting for from a client to do, or what a vendor is supposed to do to move the ticket along. How, just make it clear, a clear list of expectations, and make somebody check that every day or every week, and just target out the people who aren't following that. So yeah, that's the main thing. And so then you can go in on the back end and see what they're doing, and you make it clear that your staff, when they work on a ticket, they need to write the notes. If they don't, they're not doing the job properly, and they can expect to hear about it again and again until they fix the problem, or you might have to dismiss them over that, honestly, even if they're the best tech. If they're working remotely and they're not writing down what they're doing, you won't have any clue what they've done. And then if they do ever leave, you will not have any clue of all the work that they've done for the clients, and you won't be able to prove any of it. So ticket notes are important. Also, whatever sort of metrics you want them to be judged by. The sort of, a lot of MSPs have a time tracking metric where they have to log 80% of their day in time entries. You have to make that clear to them, and then you need to check that. And so how are they logging their time? Is it 15-minute increments, or is it minute by minute? How much breakage is there in a day? I mean, the worst MSPs we've seen actually expect every technician to log every minute of every day exactly. And so then if one of these MSPs approaches me about hiring people and they say that that's the expectation, I go, okay, so is there a visiting the toilet ticket? Is there a making a coffee ticket? Is there talking to my child who just got home from school ticket? Or do you want me to lie? And very quickly they see that our cultures are probably not compatible, because they essentially, all they care about is the bottom line, and that they're getting the most work out of their technicians. Don't be like that. You want to get good work out of your technicians, not sort of like imaginary volume of work that you're checking for, like reach the numbers, even if they're false, sort of thing. So make it clear how you're judging that time, and then hold them accountable. Yeah, 6.5 out of your 8 hours needs to be logged. Fair enough. Okay, you lost an hour and a half doing other stuff and blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. But just set these expectations there and check it. And then you can expect that every day, everybody will have 6.5 hours logged. And then if they don't, you go and talk to them about that, or get one of the managers or supervisors to go and talk to them and say, hey, you're not hitting the mark. What? Do you not have enough work to do? And sometimes they might not have enough work to do. And if you haven't defined things that they can do in those sorts of times, then what are they supposed to do? So I suggest you give them some projects to work on in the idle time. Auditing documentation, like checking server passwords, checking that documentation is up to date and correct is very good as one of those projects. Also, sort of updating user list of clients, just all that housekeeping stuff. Patching various systems, all that housekeeping stuff that you actually, as an MSP, are promising your clients that you're doing. Make it the default that if technicians don't have something to do, they do one of those sort of maybe boring tasks until another ticket that they need to work on gets assigned. So that's pretty much it. if you set all these expectations in your ticketing system, and then you can essentially see what your staff are doing without calling them up and asking, which is really annoying, that type of micromanagement. It's good to have weekly meetings where everybody talks about what they're doing and stuff, but random calls from your boss virtually, intruding in your day, intruding in your focus and asking what you're doing, that's the thing of the past with remote working. Not many people are going to enjoy that. And if you set in the right system of accountability, the right system of accountability, then they won't need to, because you'll be able to silently, from the background, go and see what they're doing as they're doing it, and basically just review what needs reviewing, and the rest hopefully will be good work that they're doing without you micromanaging or interrupting them. So how do you know what they're doing? Accountability, accountability, accountability. If you've liked this video, please subscribe. You know the drill. We also consult on making lists and all this stuff. We've got lots of great staff that we can give you who can enforce these systems, whatever your MSP needs to make your remote working culture a win. We at Supportive Venture, we have it. So my name is Eric. Greetings to you from Thailand, and we'll catch you later. Bye now.